AI is rewriting the rules for basically every part of a business. But there's one place where it's often met with, well, crickets: the boardroom. Today, we're going to dig into this huge disconnect in corporate governance and why closing this gap isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential to compete.
So, just how big is this disconnect? A recent Deloitte survey came out with a pretty staggering number. Only 14% of corporate boards are regularly talking about artificial intelligence. Seriously, think about that. The single most disruptive technology of our time is barely a talking point for the people who are supposed to be steering the ship.
But wait, it gets even wilder. That same survey found that for almost half of all companies, that's 45%, AI has never even made it onto the board's agenda, not once. This isn't just a small oversight, it's a huge, huge strategic vulnerability.
And this quote from Michael Hilb just nails the core issue. See, it's not just that boards need to watch over how AI is used in the company. The real point is that AI is about to change the very act of governance itself. A director's job is fundamentally changing, whether they're ready for it or not. So this is what experts are calling the AI governance gap. It's this dangerous space between the teams on the ground who are adopting AI at lightning speed and the leadership at the very top who don't have the strategy or the know-how to guide it. And honestly, that's a recipe for disaster. So while management is racing ahead implementing AI in every part of the operation, the boardroom is often flying completely blind. They're lagging way behind the one technology that's going to define their company's future. So the big question is, how do we fix this? Well, the good news is there's a clear path forward. Researchers have actually laid out a roadmap to take boards from a place of confusion and risk to one of real clarity and strategic advantage. And here it is. This is the solution: the AI Governance Maturity Matrix. Now take a look. See how down the left side you got 5 key dimensions of governance? And then across the top, you have 3 stages of maturity? It's a really powerful tool for any board to figure out where they are right now and then chart a course for how to get better.
So what this matrix does is break the whole journey down into 3 really clear stages of maturity. The idea isn't to jump to the end overnight, but to really understand the milestones along the way, from just reacting to things all the way to true strategic mastery. So how does this whole journey play out? Well, it all starts in the reactive stage. That's where AI is handled kind of randomly, usually only after a problem pops up. Then you move into the proactive stage, where boards start putting formal processes in place. But the end goal, the place you want to be, is the transformative stage. That's where AI is just woven into the very fabric of the company's strategy. And the cultural shift between these two? Whoa, it's massive. A reactive board, they might be skeptical, maybe even a little afraid of AI. But a transformative board? They're operating with an AI-first mindset. They use its insights to drive innovation and become way more agile. It's a total change in how they think and how they lead. Okay, so how do you actually move through those stages? Well, boards have to focus on 5 critical areas of governance. Think of these as the levers they can pull to really push their organization forward. And here's what they are. It's not just about the tech, right? It's about strategy, having the right people with the right skills, creating solid processes, making sure you have strong ethics and oversight, and building a culture that's all about collaboration and data. A board might be great in one area, but, really lagging in another? Okay, that's the framework, but what does it look like in the real world? Let's make it super concrete and look at how these dimensions play out in a really critical part of any business: human resources. So, what do you think is the #1 thing for getting AI right in HR? Well, this chart spells it out loud and clear: strategic alignment. It has a massive impact score of 8.7 out of 10. And this ties directly back to that very first dimension of our matrix, strategy and vision. If you don't have that, the tech is pretty much doomed to fail. And when you dig a little deeper, you can see how all those other dimensions are just as crucial. I mean, look at data infrastructure. That's your processes and analytics, which leads to a 78% drop in failures. And employee buy-in? That's all about culture and collaboration, and it drives a 72% jump in adoption. This proves the matrix isn't just some abstract theory. It directly predicts success in the real world. So, all of this naturally brings up a pretty big question. Where does your board stand? To help you figure that out, let's just quickly walk through a little self-assessment. By asking just a few tough questions, really any director can get a quick snapshot of their organization's AI maturity. Let's give it a try. Let's start with strategy. Is your board reactive, only talking about AI when something goes wrong? Or is it transformative, where AI is baked into every single strategic planning meeting?
Okay, what about people? Does the board just kind of blindly trust what management tells them? Or does it have its own directors with a deep, diverse AI expertise who can actually challenge and guide those conversations? And how about processes? Are AI updates just random and irregular, usually coming after the fact? Or does the board have access to real-time dashboards and analytics to help make decisions before they happen?
Now, ethics is a huge one. Is there a formal ethical framework for AI, or is the board basically just crossing its fingers and hoping for the best? A truly transformative board has a comprehensive framework, probably even validated by outside experts. And finally, culture. Is your board skeptical? Does it push back on AI-driven insights that challenge the old way of doing things? Or has it really built a culture where making decisions based on data is just the norm? And that final stage, the transformative one, it's not science fiction. It's already happening. Pioneering companies are already there. We're seeing AI algorithms like Vital being appointed as official board observers, giving unbiased, real-time data during the meetings themselves. And that brings us to a really fascinating final thought for you to chew on. As boards keep evolving, will the next voice at the table, the next expert observer giving those unbiased insights, be an algorithm? This whole journey to AI governance maturity, it isn't just about managing risk. It's about getting ready for a future where that might actually be the reality.